He said that I spent time on Jeffrey Epstein's island. I didn't. I mean, he's a lightweight, this guy. He's a terrible, I think he's terrible.
Great. Small talk over. Let's talk about Epstein. Okay.
I think it's really time for the country to get onto something else, really. You know, now that nothing came out about me, but I think it's time now for the country to maybe get onto something else.
Yes, sir. I think it's time to turn the page. Unfortunately, you're on the next page, too. You're like on 5,000 of the pages.
There is a version of this story where the photographs are the most damaging thing. There is another version where they are not even the most damaging thing in the first 10 minutes. Stephen Colbert found the second version, and the night he brought it to the Ed Sullivan Theater, the audience that walked in expecting jokes walked out having seen something else entirely. Which country are you watching this from right now? Drop it in the comments, because when Colbert put up that first image, the clip didn't stay in New York. It traveled, because some records do not stay buried, no matter how many times someone says they don't exist. This is narrative analysis, grounded in documented public statements, published photographs, and archived records that have been part of the public record for years. Every quote read that night is real. Every image shown is real. The segment did not begin with photographs. It began with words, Trump's own words published, attributed on record. Colbert sat behind his desk and told the audience he wanted to start with something simple. He said, before we look at anything, let's hear what Trump himself said about Jeffrey Epstein. In 2002, in print, he looked down at the page and he read it. Trump said, and this is a direct quote from a 2002 New York Magazine profile. I've known Jeff for 15 years. Terrific guy. He is a lot of fun to be with. It is even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side.
Here's what Donald Trump said to New York Magazine about Epstein in 2002. I've known Jeff for 15 years, terrific guy. He's a lot of fun to be with. It's even said that he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side. No doubt about it, Jeffrey enjoys his social life.
Colbert set the page down. He didn't editorialize. He didn't add a punchline. He looked at the audience and let the quote exist in the room on its own, the way a document exists when you stop decorating it and simply let people read it. Then he said, that is what Donald Trump said about Jeffrey Epstein, unprompted to a magazine. In 2002, while Epstein was already under federal scrutiny, the audience had gone quiet before the first photograph appeared. The quote had already done something the photos had not yet had the chance to do. It had established, in Trump's own voice, that the relationship was not incidental. It was enthusiastic. Then Colbert gestured toward the screen. He said, now let's look at the photographs. The first image appeared. High resolution Mar-a-Lago, Trump's own Palm Beach estate. Trump standing shoulder to shoulder with Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. All three posed and smiling. Colbert told the audience this was not a background encounter. This was not an accidental photo. This was a posed image taken at a private event hosted by Trump himself at his property. With his guest, the studio reacted. But it was uneasy. Not quite laughter, not quite silence. The sound of people recalibrating what they thought they already knew. If you are watching this, and you want to see more moments where the record does the work that denials were designed to erase, subscribe and hit that like button, because by the time Colbert reached photo 4, the studio had stopped making any sound at all. The second photograph appeared, a New York City society event. The 1990s, Trump and Epstein side by side, leaning toward each other, laughing, at ease in a way that does not happen between strangers. Colbert reminded the audience, quietly, of what Trump had said to the cameras that week, that he barely knew the man, almost no relationship. He did not say the contrast was impossible to ignore. He did not need to. The contrast was standing on the screen. Photo 3 and photo 4 came in rapid succession. Charity galas, social gatherings. The same two men within arm's reach at different events across different years. Each image was a different occasion, a different venue, a different year. Colbert let the accumulation speak. He pointed out calmly that a pattern spread across multiple events and multiple years cannot be explained as coincidence. Coincidence happens once. This had happened many times. At some point, a pattern is simply a record. By photo 4, the studio had gone still, not the uncomfortable stillness of an audience waiting for the punchline. The stillness of a room where the punchline had already arrived, quietly, through a series of images, and nobody needed it explained to them. Then came Photo 5, a still frame from a 1992 party video filmed at Mar-a-Lago. Trump and Epstein on a crowded dance floor, side by side, gesturing toward people in the room, laughing. The video had been publicly available for decades. It had not been hidden. It had simply been waiting for someone to put it next to the denial. Colbert turned back to the camera. He said, "The president expects you to ignore your own eyes. He wants you to believe this connection never really existed." But the photographs were taken at his property. The quote was published under his name. The record was not assembled by his opponents. It was assembled by him over 15 years while he called the man terrific. Trump posted the next morning. He said House Republicans should vote to release the Epstein files because he had nothing to hide. Colbert's segment had aired 12 hours earlier. Many observers noted the timing. They did not call it coincidental. The segment spread to every major broadcast and platform within hours because what Colbert had done, methodically, without volume, without outrage, was place a 2002 quote directly next to 5 photographs and let the distance between them tell the story. The denial had not collapsed under attack. It had collapsed under documentation. Some records do not disappear. No matter how many times someone says they never existed. The camera was there. The magazine was there. Mar-a-Lago was there. Subscribe to the Narrative Brief and turn on notifications. The record was always there. We make sure it stays visible. The patterns repeat. We slow them down.